Welcome to the vlog. My name is Carlo, and today I'm gonna talk about cycling accessories that you didn't think you needed. So these are a few cycling accessories that I was surprised with how often I use them. They may not be essential, they may not be necessary, but they made my cycling life so much better. So here they are. The first cycling accessory that I want to share is a bike hanger. We recently moved into this house, and when we were planning our move here, there was an area near my on the side of the house where I thought it would be a good place to put a bike hanger. It's just something on the wall where you can hang the bike, and I knew it'd be a really good spot because number one, it was near where I can wash it, and it made it also eye level, which means like simple minor mechanic work was really easy to do. So the bike hanger is a indispensable part of my cycling life. I do all of my mechanic work there. My really simple mechanic work. I'm a sucky mechanic, but I do all of my mechanic work there, and I definitely do all my cleaning there. Prior to that, I had a little bike stand on the floor, and it was kind of a pain. You had to crouch, or you had to bend just to wash. It was annoying. So the bike hanger on the wall was super helpful. The next item on the list is not necessarily an accessory, but it's something that I found very useful. It's homemade bike snacks. I was first introduced to this when we were biking with Tito Rudy. You might have seen him in some of the videos, and it turned out that he made his own bike snacks, and he gave me a recipe, and I showed it to my wife, and my wife did a version of her own, and it is the best bike snack I've ever had. It's basically the ones that I have are granola, peanut butter, and chocolate bits mixed into this mush, and it's delicious. So I'll put the recipe here, and yeah, but like feel free to change it up a little bit. So homemade bike snacks, super good. Oh, and it turns out to be a lot cheaper also than buying off the rack. The next accessory that I want to talk about might be more relevant if you had a gravel bike, but it's basically another wheel set. Now, I was running for the longest time a Surly Midnight Special with 700C tires, and I really enjoyed it, but then I tried the 650B wheel set on a different bike, and I thought it made the bike feel totally different. It made it feel like I had two bikes. So I eventually bought myself a 650B wheel set, and now I use the 700C tires and the 700C wheel set with the 700C tires as my road bike when I'm going on long road rides. That's what I use, and then I use my 650B with 47 Sendero tires as my off-road bike, and it's a really good purchase because it's made my cycling experience so much better. Whenever I want to go on the road, I just use my road wheels, and the experience is so good because it is meant for something like that. And when I want to go off road, I use my 650B, and it's big and chunky, and it can absorb all of that chunk. And I really like it, man. It's such a good experience. It's like having two bikes, but not having two bikes, just having two sets of wheel sets. The next accessory that I found myself using quite a bit, and whenever I needed it, I always wished I had it on my bike, would be bike fenders. Now, here in the Philippines, there are rainy months, and when it rains here in my area, the roads can get kind of mushy and icky and wet, and it's usually not a very good experience because you get all that grime in the back of your shirt, and that's not I don't personally like it. It makes cleaning kind of a pain, and it's also ruined a couple of my jerseys. So when I finally bought myself bike fenders, that made the whole experience so much better. It made riding the bike less worrisome on my clothing. It made me save money on my clothing because I didn't have to worry about all the grime in the back of my shirt or the back of my jerseys. So the bike fenders were Super useful. I recommend it if you ride anywhere that rains quite a bit. The next accessory that I can't imagine biking without would be a handlebar bag. Now, I like to vlog a lot of my rides. I like to vlog a lot of my rides. So that also means I'm carrying a camera. And the bag is just another place for me to put all my stuff, right? So if I need an extra camera, that's a place to put it. If I'm doing a really long ride and I want to make sure that I have a lot of snacks, that's where I put it. Uh, Also, if I want to buy something in the middle of the ride, maybe a cold brew for the wife, that's a nice place to put it as well. So, a good handlebar bag makes the rides a lot more convenient. The last thing that I want to share is this is really helpful, especially if you bike like as much as I do, where I bike almost every day, at least 8 hours a week, and I always find that I need an extra bit of everything. Like an extra bike, an extra helmet, extra shades. I don't have an extra pair of shoes, but maybe I should get an extra pair of shoes. The reason being, now, don't get me wrong, my extra bike is my super cheap fixed gear, and that's what I use when my gravel bike is with the mechanic. But, if you bike as much as I do, missing a day on the bike kind of sucks. Like I just had my booster shot and I was sick for the past few days, so I wasn't able to bike yesterday and today. And tomorrow I definitely am gonna bike. But it sucks not being able to bike. And it sucks more if the reason you're not able to bike is because, you lack a piece of equipment. Like my gravel bike is in the shop, and when it was in the shop, I always use my fixed gear bike, and it's totally fine. Also, extra helmet helps because when you bike as much as I do, the helmets kind of get icky and gross. So what I do now is every time I have a bike ride, I wash. I spray the helmet with water and I let it dry, and then I'll use the other helmet, and then I just change it up between the two. Maybe I should get extra shoes. I'll think about that. Anyway, that's it. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, consider subscribing. Most of my videos that I like to make in this channel are actually my ride videos, and those are the most enjoyable ones for me to make. You can get that over here, or you can also support the channel by visiting the online store, the Villain shop over here. Okay, no boring days. Please subscribe.